said your daughter used Muslim match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard of that. You said you didn't hear it.
I didn't.
Bro, when we did the joint with the
That
sisters.
was the first time I heard that.
No, but I'm saying you heard about it then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I heard her say it, but I was wondering, like, what is that?
Because, I mean, that's the first time I heard it when my daughter mentioned it. You know what I mean? I knew some other, like, Muslim matrimonial sites, you know. But I didn't know she was online because all the guys that we had, you know, had her sit down with was, like, people we knew. Mm-hmm. And so we was able to, you know.
Yeah, easy speak to the person and be familiar.
Yeah. Because we had another family similar, one of my wife's good friends. She got like five sons and one daughter. Right. So we was trying to pair our daughter up with one of her sons, and it didn't pan out, you know. And that my daughter, I think she was kind of discouraged because she had liked this boy, you know, and he wasn't ready for marriage. So she was like 15 at the time. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, but it took a long time, like, to get your daughter into something. Or she went on her own. You said all the time.
Well, for that time she was 15, she had like two more serious kind of inquiries. You know what I mean? And they, you know, it was a couple months. You know what I mean? But this last one, it was like, okay, she kind of knew she was looking for. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, we met with him. I liked him right from the bat, man, you know.
How old is your daughter then?
She's 19.
19?
Yeah.
What, so would you have let her get married at 15?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Explain your reason.
My reasoning is because marriage, you know, is a sunnah, and, you know, we live in a hypersexualized, you know, society. I would rather her be married and, you know, go through all the flack. And, you know, my philosophy is that you get married and you treat it like it's a boyfriend and girlfriend situation, because a lot of these kids are already involved in this stuff, you know, more than we would even like to admit. You know, they having relationships already, you know, with this online stuff. They having some of this, you know, interaction on social media is like.
It's actually younger than.
Yeah, it's deep, you know, it's sexual, you know what I'm saying? And, might as well let them get married and work it out, man. I think a lot of times we are expecting, we're projecting a lot of our expectations on them, like how they should be set up, and you know, because one of my goals, my wife thought I was crazy, and I said this to her. I said, listen, we need to use a strategy. Okay, you get them together. All right, you working, my man? You know, such and such. Okay, do you promise to take care of my daughter? He said yes. Okay, do you agree to this? And she'd be like, yeah, okay. They married and they don't even know they married. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then they still living like boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, and they already made the contract. Yeah. I mean, we got what we want, you know, let them work it out, you know what I'm saying? Then when something happened, no, man, you looked me in my eye and you said that you was gonna take care of my daughter, man. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, so it's different when a father and brothers involved, you know what I mean? So or community.
But
so
that was one of the things we had asked. We asked these sisters before, because like online they you know, people always like the sisters, because they got burnt in the past and stuff. They always say like about what they're worth and what they're not gonna put up with and what they expect. Yeah. And I was trying to tell them like, how if you meet somebody, like, because we, you know, people ain't we ain't supposed to be dating and messing around first.
Right.
But in society, if that's what everybody's doing, and you meet a person, how you would expecting this brother to marry you and then just take on all your financial obligations from the door?
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when they that young, like in 19, 15 and stuff. Like, so like, you know, I don't want to be all in their business, but what was the process for y'all when y'all was working out like the dowry and all that?
I told him whatever he can afford, what she asked for, and then I told her in private, like, don't make it nothing extravagant. You know, the dowry is not does not equate your worth as a woman. Yeah. It's just a formality. It's just a formality. If we talking about the mother of the believers, you know, they got married for what's equivalent to about $35 today, and these are the best women that ever existed. You know what I mean? So stop making your worth according to the dowry. Because you look at the man who's giving you the dowry. Look what kind of honor he got, what kind of character he got, what kind of go-getterness he got, if that's a word. I just made it up. You know, what kind of drive he got, what kind of ambition he got, what kind of vision do he got. That's what I'm looking for. I don't care that you not, you know, because I told my son-in-law this, you know, I told him, I said, you know what I'm looking for more than anything else? He said, what? I said, I'm looking for Frank White on the train in King of New York. And he was like, what do you, he ain't never seen it, you know? So I know he didn't see it, but so he said, Frank White on the train, King of New York, right? I said, I want you to go watch the movie. And I gave him, you know, and then when you come back, then tell me what you got from it. So he went and watched it. He said, yeah. I said, you know, this is what I want from you. You know what I mean? You don't got to have a whole bunch of knowledge, a whole bunch of money. But when my daughter's with you and somebody run up on you, whoa, 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 whoa. And you pull that hammer out. You know, in other words, you know what I'm saying? She's protected with you wherever she is, you know what I mean? And you got her, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for, you know? She was like, oh, okay, you know, he didn't really get it, you know? So that's what I told him. But, I mean, historically, if you look at marriage, you know, in all cultures, it really, a lot of this Western stuff, that's what's not really it's about. It's about the union of men and women, you know what I mean? And not really having a lot. It's bonds of matrimony. And you work it from there. Rich, poor, whatever. You know, we got all these expectations. You know, we're supposed to have all this stuff in place. And none of that stuff is guaranteed. Yeah, and then, you know, one of the things that, you know, when sisters ask for advice, I tell them, like, look, you got to remember that your clock is ticking. You know, like, your value is decreasing as time goes. And so it men's too, you know what I mean? But like I seen it joined by Kevin Samuels, you know, they don't like that name, right? Oh, but the other day he told this, I listened to one, he was like, no, the one, she was like 37 years old, she had 2 kids, and now all of a sudden she wants to be celibate. But I think she been abstinent until she meets somebody. He like, you know, he was like, well, how tall are you? She was like 5'4". He said, well, how much you weigh? She said, about 180 pounds. He said, you know, if we was to stretch you out height and weight, you would be the equivalent of a defensive lineman. You know what I mean? So in other words, he was saying you are overvaluing yourself, and now you want to be all these expectations when your value has decreased. You got 2 kids, you know what I mean? And a man is going to have to come in, he's going to have to play some form of stepdad, he's going to have to take on some bills, and he got to deal with stuff that he's, you know, is already a pre-made situation. Like, you know, don't make your expectations, because now it's like what you bringing to the table. Man, the table is overloaded already. Like, what do you want me to bring to the table? There's no more room for me. You know what I'm saying? But just take it in stride, man. I think people put too much into marriage. You know what I mean? Just, you know,
they making it hard.
They making it hard, and they putting too much romanticism. You know, I mean, you know, I've been married 23 years. Even my wife would tell you today, she said, you don't really love me. You know, you don't really love me. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do to, you know. And then she used to say, now I understand why you always say, I love you for Allah. You know, because for Allah, then I'm going to do whatever it takes because of my love for the one who gave me life to take care of you. And that's what I've been doing. Yeah, you know, we had our, you know, shortcomings and misgivings, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to do my best not to let you down. I'm not going to bail on you. You know, your problem is my problem. I'm going to try to handle what I can. If I can't handle it, you know, I'm going to let you know. Yeah, but, you know, we missing this kind of stuff, man, you know? But, I mean, people putting too much into marriage, like living conditions and money and, you know, and the bad thing about it is that even if you have everything in place, they still going to be problems. Yeah. They still going to be problems. You know?
Most people now, what they doing, they're just trying their best to not get hurt.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's the main thing now. Like, people are like, oh, I got my feelings hurt by this person or that person, and I'm trying to avoid that. And I tell people all the time, like, that's impossible. Like, there's no way you're gonna go through life and not struggle. Like, it's totally impossible. Like, whatever Allah gives you, you're gonna have to deal with it, man. So just you find a good situation, a good person, and you try to rock out with them, man. You gotta find somebody to struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of good, like they.
Somebody that's worth the pain, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna be pain. It ain't gonna be everlasting. The ease is coming again, but it's gonna be some trying times. It ain't always gonna be sweet. I think somebody lied to us, man. You get married happily ever after. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's absolutely. That's absolutely incorrect.
Yep.
Everybody go through.
Yep.
Situations in marriage.
Yep, man.
It's always like that. But you ain't even in the marriage and you coming into it.
And you got all this stuff lined up, and the first red flag you see is like,
Yeah, I'm ready
you don't
to
want,
jump out the window.
nah.
You're like, Dad, you ain't even used to trouble.
And then, a lot of people overlooking good brothers and sisters, with these fears, man, You just gotta, it's like double dutch, you know what I mean? You see the rhythm, you just gotta jump in. The rope is gonna skip sooner or later. You start over. I hope I ain't sound gay, but I used to try to do it, but I could never do it. But when you see people doing it and they got that rhythm, it's like something to see, man. Well, remember some of those things, man. You just jump in. You don't think about it too much. Once you get the rhythm, once you feeling somebody, it don't take much to feel somebody. You kind of, I mean, Jahiliyyah, man, we fell in love with somebody after like 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But even like Umar said, he said that every house ain't built on love.
Yeah.
Every house built on love.
Yeah.
Man. Somebody's a team.
Yeah.
It's a team.
Yeah.
Marriage is a team.
Yeah, love, and real love comes later, man.
Yeah, that's what
it comes later. It grows, man.
Like, man, I don't know where y'all get this idea of love at first sight. That's just
yeah.
So how long you been the man at Quba? How long?
I've been there since 2007. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, 2000. The end of 2007. But I've been at that masjid since like 1994, like off and on.
How did you get the job?
Yeah, I was actually saying that.
Because nobody else take it. Nah, actually, when I used to go there before, and then the Salafi movement was coming, so I was with those brothers, and then we end up challenging administration. We was doing our
trying to take over.
Yeah, rebelling against the authority. And we saying that we following the Sunnah, but we ain't got no respect for elders. Trying to take over, blocking them, busting the doors open. And they ended up like putting out a list and putting us out. I was on the list, like I couldn't come back there. Then they let us come back. And then we went to open up a couple masjids after that. And that's when you see what people's commitment is. Because it's easy when you join something that's already working instead of starting something from scratch. And then you see, people bailing out. So I think one day I used to, when I was still with the Salafi Masjid, but I wasn't really connected. Like my heart wasn't in it, and I was kind of like getting away from this around 2000. So one day I went back to Quba, right? And I went there one day for Fajr. The Salafi Masjid, when they was just opening up in like 2003, but they wasn't always open, and sometimes they would be closed for Jummah. So one day it was like, well, we need to go up the street, man. The brother said, nah, they Ahlul Bidah. You can't go in there. I said, bro, you can't give up your obligation for Jummah because you saying they deviants. Yeah. So we went, and I seen some brothers I knew. Then after that, I went one day for Fajr prayer, and I seen some like thoroughbreds that I knew. Like I'm like, oh, what's going on down here? Because I haven't been down there in years, and I was just like it was like dormant. Mm-hmm. So then the brothers, I went another time for Salat, and I seen some other people there. I'm like, man, what's going on here? This looked like something happening. So, and then one time it was after Janazah, then the brothers, they called me and they asked me, could I do Jummah, and I was like, I'd be happy to, but if there's certain people that's still there on the administration, I don't want to cause no problem, because we had a big falling out, and I like I just left it alone. It wasn't, So he's like, nah, they not there. I said, are you sure? Because I don't want to come down there and it get heated real quick. So he said, nah. So, I went down there and so we sitting there and I'm waiting for people to come to Juma. So I'm looking like, this is almost like 1:45. So, and I'm like, excuse me, what time y'all start? Right? He said, whenever the Imam gets here. So I said, whenever the Imam gets here, what do you mean? He said, sometimes the brother don't show up. And I'm like,
Wow, so
yeah, so not, at this time, he didn't ask me. I came down there and they invited me. I went. The brother who was supposed to do the khutbah didn't show up. And I was like, wow. So then he said, can you come next week? I said, yeah, I'll come. And that's what I asked him was, the brother's still there. So when I got there, it was like 4 people there. It was like 4 people for Jummah. You know what I'm saying? And so I gave the khutbah. Then it was me and this other brother. We were supposed to alternate. Then one day they called me, man. I was working overnight. They called me and they was like, man, the brother ain't show, man. Could you make it? I'm like, bro, I just worked the whole shift, man. So I went there, and then the next thing I know, the other brother, he stopped coming. Then I just after that I just got stuck.
that's the same thing I remember.
And then the next thing what happened, another janaza came, then somebody wanted to get married, and I had already had, prior couple years experience before, so I was like, oh man, I'm like caught right back in, just like that, because I was always the type that I could never let that stuff come across my desk and not deal with it. You know what I mean? Because in Camden, if people die and if the Salafis don't know them, they won't bury them. You know what I mean? Wow. And it's like, okay, how can you let a Muslim not get buried?
Right.
Yeah, so he still got a right. So I would undertake the task, Then next thing somebody needed counseling, then somebody needed some, and then I was like, damn, just when I'm getting out, they pulled me back in. And then
You got stuck.
It got stuck.
Yeah.
A brother told me that. I don't like to say stuck, but it was like.
He don't say Allah put you in.
Yeah, but and then it just happened, man. Then, it's like, okay, well, we can't be here not learning nothing. So start teaching a few classes and, and then when people heard that I was there, they started, oh man, if Faheem was down the street, man, we can go down. Like, it's okay now, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and I never told nobody I was coming down there because I knew I didn't want to cause no problems. So, and like one brother said, yeah, I heard you down there, man, I'm coming down. I said, nah, don't come down. If you ain't been coming down here all these years, don't come down now. He said, man, you can't tell me where I could go. I like you right, but don't do that now. Don't come because I'm here. You know what I mean? This is not I'm coming here to help them because they asked me. It ain't no fanfare. And then at that time I was in the outs with the Wahhabis, and then I was on the list. Yeah, so I was on the do not take from list. Don't salam him when you see him. None of that. Don't pray behind them. None of So when they heard I was down there, they said I was splitting the community. I said, how? Those brothers asked me to come, and then I found out they had asked some of those students of knowledge, to come, and they told them no. So now I go down there as a problem, And I never made no fanfare. I just came down there. We opened up for Salah. Brothers I knew that that was tried and true. Come out to the masjid, But other people that was just like wanting to hang on, like, nah. Are like even now be like, you doing Jummah today? Yeah, okay, I'll be there, and I'll be somewhere else. And they be like, well, I ain't see you there. You didn't ask me where I was gonna be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So don't come there because of me. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? I'm not into no fanfare, man. Like if you come into the masjid, you coming to pray, and you meet brothers, like I can't do that, man. So and it just morphed into something else. And then I was going through my own transition, coming up, not just realizing that the Salafi movement was more than just a bunch of ignorant niggas not knowing what they doing. It was a whole methodology behind it. So that's when I started, studying, and like, okay, this is what this is about. So, and I just started moving away from it. And then Allah was just sending other people, and that's when I met, I've been to Ustad Abdullah. We used to, keep touch with him, but we used to have private classes with him. And he was, reading stuff from us, Imam Suyuti and Fathul Bari, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, showing us in the works what they saying, and I'm like, man, these people never said this. So it was a deliberate thing to, keep us bamboozled, and then just meet more people. Sandalani,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew him from before, but at that time he was the deviant. He wasn't going to take, But I was always the type, even when I was with the Salafi's, like, you just can't tell. That's not enough for me. Yo, don't read this book. No, you got to tell me why, because I'm a reader. I know how to, public school was good to me. I learned how to read. I learned critical thinking in the 6th grade. I learned analogical skill. Like, you got to tell me more than that. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell me what page number, So you just don't read the book. Nah, man, look, they had the 40 Hadith by Jamaluddin Zaraboza. You ever seen those books when they first came out? And I got them wholesale for like $90. So the brother was like, you got to throw them away. I'm like, man, you must be crazy as hell, man. I paid $90. You going to highlight this. I'm not throwing nothing away. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of stuff, man. And then I just started meeting more people. And Sandalani, he came over because he was the imam at Quba briefly, But at the time he was there, I was like in limbo. So then we ended up hooking up again. He came over, and that series he did on he did it at Masjid.
That was like 08, 09.
Yeah, something like that. And it was powerful. And he did it in response because they was calling him Jahmiya and all that kind of stuff. So and we still get all those accusations that, we Sufis, we Sufis, they in there, they flying on carpets. So anytime we see brother, because Camden's small, whenever we see people that's not from the community, so we'll come in like, turn the lights off when they come in, right? We're like, brother, you don't feel nothing? I'm like, nah. Okay, well, make sure you tell them that when you leave out of here, Or I'll come in and somebody be praying with the lights out. I'll turn the lights on. Like, listen, we got enough flack, man, calling us deviants, man. Turn the lights on when you praying, man. Because that's what they praying down there in the dark, all that nonsense, So, they dancing, they, all types. They ain't never seen none of that, So, it's just crazy, man. So then ever since then, it was just, it was in my lap. I felt like I had a responsibility. And I just took it,
That's what actually the same happened to myself in Moed.
Yeah.
The guy that was running the place, well, he was doing the cookbook and stuff, but he just left. Right? So they was like, it was Moed's first, and they was like, Moed, you gotta do the cookbook. We the two youngest people in the place at that time.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean I gotta do the cookbook? Where's the babe? You know what I mean? He was like, nah, he ain't coming.
Right.
Because something took place behind the scenes.
Yeah,
The personalities clash. They'll be like, man, I'm not coming around anymore.
Next thing you know, the guy that was there every week don't show up.
Because of something loose that you might say to him.
Yeah.
And so Moed started doing it first. Well, I seen that Moed was getting like, overworked. So I decided to step into it. So I said, look, Moed, you do one day, I'll do the next day. Then it started from that, right? The next thing you know, we taking care of bills.
Yeah.
We doing what you doing now. Like, man, you gotta go pay the land. I gotta go do this, build electric. And we don't know. We like, all that stuff. What are you talking about?
Right.
So he had us do the same thing with you. So we got stuck in that for 10 years. Me and Moed just switching back and forth. And it was like, man, I say it's good, and it got its pros and its cons.
It keep you on your toes, but you do feel like you stuck, man. It's like, and because I inherited a headache, man. Like, when I came in, it was a bunch of taxes. It was a bunch of like even stuff we got to take care of now. But it's like, we working on it. But it was like, man, I walked into a headache, man. I ain't, because I was never one to be a part of no administration and dealing with the stuff behind the scenes. Like, okay, I do a class, I can do Jummah, some marital counseling, but all that other stuff, man. Yeah, how you doing, bro?
One thing I can say though, is that from what I noticed from being there for 10 years, is that the commitment of Muslims started dwindling.
Yes.
Like they didn't want to be committed.
Yep.
Because they knew there was another place right here.
Yep.
And another one up the street. So they're like, listen, if I fall out with them down here, I'll just go to the one up the street.
Yep.
And they didn't want to have that. Whenever you approach them and say, listen, this is because we had a board. Remember, CJ?
Mm-hmm.
We had a board, right? And
Yeah,
your name.
we had a board with like it said how much each person had to pay,
right?
And it would check off. So if you didn't pay your money, then niggas is gonna holler at you.
Yeah. So and your name would be on there, and you be like, yo, you committed to paying the masjid, right? So they say, yeah. So you'll be like, how much you gonna commit to pay? And they say, well, I'll pay $20 a week, right? Some people would pay more, 40, and whatever it was, right? So when your name would be there. So as soon as you come out of the musalla, it's right there. You'll see your name. You be like, dang man, I'm behind. So we'll be there like, yo, you behind. You know, you need that money. And
you need me to get out the chair?
No.
Oh, okay.
What happened was, what that did was, we having 10 members, including, CJ and stuff. What happened was, we had enough to keep the bills paid and the sadaqah to pay for all the other remaining stuff. But we had people that made a commitment to pay that. Now, Allah started calling people back. And we started needing other people to step up. And as time progressed, people was like, nah, I'm not gonna be able to be committed to pay that. Just they're not saying that they didn't have the money, they do. They just like, I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, you gotta squeeze it out of them. Because before when we left Quba the first time, this was like 97, and then we decided we had to get our own masjid. I was still with the Salafis then, so okay, brothers, what we gonna do now? They done kicked us out. We can't go back there. They called the police on us. Okay, now we're gonna do. Okay, we need to get our own building. All right, who's gonna put up some money? Then people start scattering. So we already knew. So it was me and 3 other brothers. We was doing I was doing asbestos work, so I was making nice money at that time. And so we decided it was 4 of us. We put $50 a week. Just the 4 of us, because we knew we would count on each other. The other niggas is like, yeah, they talking. So we end up saving up like $6,000. We end up saving like $6,000. And so we said we just find a building that's gonna be temporary, and then use it as a place to get the people. And once we get the place, they'll come. And that's exactly what happened. And then all them dudes that we was asking to be committed, something like that, we didn't have a list, but like they come in there and they want to see if we praying the right way. So a dude come in there, he come with this compass, right? And I'm like, yo, man, what would make you think that that's not the first thing that we would check out? Like, what's wrong with you, man? Like that mentality. Like, what would you think we would come in and not check which way we supposed to pray? Like, what's wrong with you?
There's people when they what I noticed early, like when I first took Shahada, like people they learn and then they use it like as a weapon. It's not. That's in everything. That's in Islam. That's even like I started doing the stock trading stuff, right? And now that it's dope that it's a lot of black people that are trading stocks and investing, but they competing in that shit too. Like they're like, oh, you ain't doing that. It's like, why we always gotta be competing?
Right.
It's stupid, man.
Yeah. And so we had a temporary building. It was like this little storefront, but it was in like a township where it was like we wasn't really welcome there. So, but we planned to be temporary anyway. So we was there for like 2 years, and we started building it up. And then all of these people that was causing problems at the masjid before, now they want to come teach. I'm like, yo, bro, we can't have that kind of drama like before. You know what I mean? Like challenging administration and talking about stuff that's out of context. Like you can't do that. Like they would do stuff like it was a brother and sister that got married, right? And the brother Tawfiq from Philly? He came and did a talk. And you know what he talked about? He was talking about the Islamic punishment for adultery. And I remember it was these 3 dudes that was there, like family members, non-Muslims. And it scared the living hell out of them. I never seen these guys nowhere ever since. This was like 20 years ago. But I'm like, afterward, I'm like, bro, like, why would you talk about that, man? It was just to get married. You gave the wrong kind of, you left a bad taste in their mouth. Like it wasn't appropriate, But you couldn't tell them, God, because they knew some Arabic, they students of knowledge. You didn't go overseas to study, so you're not qualified. Nigga, I got sense.
Yeah, but see, like a lot of people, like he said, like CJ mentioned, it's like when you knew that stuff is impressive.
Yeah,
But seasoned Muslim,
yeah,
man, they ain't,
yeah,
they
exactly.
ain't really nothing.
Yeah, and they bank on that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know,
They're like, man, you know this and this and this. It really get them.
Yeah.
Because you know when somebody accepts Islam, they got that zeal.
Yeah.
And they just so eager to learn and all that stuff impressive.
Yep, man. Yeah. So we just been there and now
that's why I
just
actually
trying to
did
build
the commitment change, the different type. Because I noticed it when me and Moez was doing it
Yeah.
later years.
Yeah.
Started fading
Yeah,
out.
with the opportunity to go other places and then just the commitment overall with just technology, people just so distracted. They don't see the sense of a community anymore.
That's what
You know, they don't see the sense of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about, well, you move together, you put your money together, you live around the masjid. That's a thing of the past. You know what I'm saying? That's for our people. You know what I mean? But people, it's like you got to twist their arms, man, and like that take a lot of energy. You know what I mean? To make sure, you know, because like Imam Amin was saying, he said, Imam Saraj said, you know, we try to raise money, it's like it's begging. When they do it, other people, it's fundraising. You know, and it's like we gotta, you know how much effort I got to put in every week just to make people, you know, I got to put it in the khutbah, I got to do an announcement after the khutbah, I got to do one before, just for, you know, to try to clear $200.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bang.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, you know.
And you don't get a salary or nothing.
Nah.
Yeah, it's like you still got to work and, you know, work versus when you look at other communities and then, you know, they respect the deen enough that it's because it's part of their culture. They make the funds available.
Yeah.
To have an imam. You know, to have a Qur'an school. Like
Yeah, one of the main things I know is that they know that imam should be paid because all the knowledge that he acquired and the benefit that he do for the community.
He took a sacrifice.
Yeah, so he like, why not pay the imam?
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. I really don't.
Because you don't got the money.
Yeah, that too. But it's not really that. Some people do got money.
No, it's
For
not.
instance,
I'm talking about there's not an organization that got the money.
Yeah.
People got the money, but it's not organized.
Yeah.
Like where you might see like the Bengalis or the Pakistan, they have an actual committee.
What's up, bro?
We gotta have a masjid.
Oh yeah, I know that's true.
But with us, here's how every masjid gets started. Somebody get mad at you and I'm fucking them out. I'm gonna go start my own.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, well, I can cover the rent. As long as you can cover the rent, then and then so they can't. You ain't making no money. And they don't. If you don't actually understand how business works, because it is a business, you got to figure out how to make money, how to make it sustainable. Then the shit falls apart. It happens all the time.
Personally from the Bengalis. I know personally because I deal with them. I was on their house a lot. Them and the Pakistanis, what they do is they got a board, like you said, but it's not a board that's a part of the masjid. It's like a financial group within the masjid, right? Yeah. And what they do is, so I would go to the group and I say, listen, I'm trying to open up a storefront. Can y'all give me the money? And there's no riba. So they're like, yeah, we'll give you the 30,000. Go ahead, go to 30,000. Pay the money back and stuff like that. So money is circulating. So the dude that owned the store, he's putting money back into the pot. So it's always just circulating in a little money group. And they facilitate, like for instance on Florida Avenue, the guy, he gets 70. His salary is 70,000 a year.
I believe it.
Yeah, so they make sure that he get paid.
Hey, Imam, he getting $70,000 a year.
70,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got doctors, they have lawyers and tax. Some of them a lot of them is in real estate, right? And some of them is the taxi cab. Some of them loan out their medallions to other tax because you could do that, right?
Man, if I was getting $70,000 a year, I'd be turning water into wine, cuz.
Yeah, but they got like a whole, like you said, a whole system of doing that. Yeah. With us, it would have to be a different approach. Where you're like, listen, man, how about a membership? $20 a week, something like that, and the membership, and this is what you get. We'll do you any cash.
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll do that. It gotta be a different approach.
Yeah, we're doing this too, but then you got to follow up, man. People don't honor it, man. Like, if you commit to $25, we ask $25 a month. If you give $25 a month, you won't have to hear my voice about begging. But the thing is, I know people got money because when it's time to respond to some type of tragedy, you know, they give up dough, man. Like a couple weeks ago, a brother passed away. He didn't have no will, and it was a lot of discrepancy with his family. And so his sister was like, "I'm just gonna get him cremated, just to kill all that." You know what I mean? So when I heard that, I was like, "Nah, we can't do that, man." So what's the cost? So they gave us the cost. I put the word out to the community. Man, they was overwhelming response. I'm like, damn, man, this is what it take for us to get a little piece of paper, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, people calling me. Oh, is it done, man? You got how much more you need? I'm like, we're done it now, man. But where was you at last Friday, man, when we needed, you know what I'm saying, to get this project done? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. But
I actually think, though, that you know how when you get your check and you can get a little bit taken out, I think it should be something like that.
Yeah.
I told him that. And I told him I would help set it all up. He didn't want to do it.
I think it'd be something, you know how when your check
The automatic
massive fund.
When you fill out your W-2s, you talking about, right?
No, I'm talking about your check. When you get your check.
Yeah.
Right? It had like massive fund going to that.
just ordered like authorized.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I have mine set up like on my card. Like well now that like Imam and me got help and stuff, and his wife, she know how to do everything. But I had been told I could do it.
Yeah.
But she set mine up where every month automatically they take the money out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because people that got bank accounts, right? They can set their bank account to just automatically send the money to the membership.
Yeah, okay, we need to set that up, man. Because I mean, I can push that.
Because people get you, they're like, all right, it's already coming out. I already know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you don't see it, you know. Yeah. So.
I think that's how it should be now.
Yeah.
You what this nigga over here making mad noise. It ain't work now, man.
I said that's what I was doing. I didn't know. I was like, oh, it work.
That make the interview legit though. Yeah, the noise.
What kind of stories you got from the masjid?
Oh, the weird ones.
Yeah.
Which one you want to hear? The good ones or the bad ones?
Both.
Oh, you talking about from people coming in high praying Fajr at 9 o'clock in the morning? You talking, stealing? You talking? What you want?
Whatever, man.
Oh man,
the marriage joint.
Oh, the marriage joints, man. Whoo! I'll tell you one thing. What I learned from the marriage, getting counseling. One thing that I always, before I even engage, I need to hear both sides of the story. I need to hear, because, man, I'll never forget this one case. Sister came, man, called me, I think like 2, 3 in the morning. Distraught. She said, I think my nose is broke. What? Nose broke? Brother, he broke my nose. We're gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? So, get up, go find him. Next, we talked to him. We get ready to tear him up. Just so happened that she left this part of the story. She spat in his face like hawk spit. Yeah. After he kept telling her, look, I told you to leave. You know how they like, for some weird reason, that shows love if you strike back. Leave me alone. I'm telling you. She spat in his face. You know what I mean? And he hauled off, man. I think he broke her nose, man. You know what I'm saying? But he had enough. But like, she never mentioned that part. And after I got to the bottom of it, I probably would have hit you with a little uppercut or something too. You know what I mean? You spat in my face, like, after I kept telling you, and I was like, you just gotta hear both stories, man, but it's, man, dealing with brothers who, a lot of Muslims addicted to drugs, man, and like, it ain't just weed, this stuff they taking, man. Brother come in arguing with you about Fajr time. It's 9 o'clock a.m., But I'm like, what do you do? At least he got enough sense to know he come to the masjid to pray. I'm going to let him pray. And then when I catch him another time, brother come in, he, Allahu Akbar, recitation halfway, all right, but he high out of his mind. High out of his mind, man, you go on the streets, man, a lot of the heads of the drug gangs, man, they be Muslims. They Muslims, man. I had a story. This was recent. A sister reached out in a group on Facebook, and she said about was a brother was trying to marry her daughter or something, not her daughter or somebody that she knew, and he was the landlord of where they lived at, and since they didn't want to, see him as a husband, he was giving them problems about where they lived at. So I said, so I inboxed her nobody's, where you at? She told me where the location, but it was in another state. So I nobody's gonna approach him. She was like, all the Muslims around here move the best dope in the area. I'm like, damn, And I remember this one time, man. This really hurt me, man. It was a brother I grew up with. He wasn't Muslim, so we met up after some years. So he was kind of adverse to Islam. So I was trying to give him dawah. He was like, man, all I know is the brothers with the big beards, man. This is what he said. He said, I don't understand these guys, man. This was 2000 when the iceberg jeans was out. He said, how you buy $200 jeans and you cut them at the bottom, right? I don't know, man. I'm trying to. Then he said, but the brothers with the big beards, they got the best coke in the city, because he was living in Philly. So I had to redirect the conversation. I'm like, I don't want to hear this, man. But I'm like, that's the impression that he got, man. And it's people, and then now this culture now is nobody has no shame about what they do. I mean, we sin and we do things, but you're supposed to put some cut on it, man. You're supposed to keep it hidden, especially if it's a fitna for you.
The reason why it's like that is because you live in a town where everything is okay.
Yeah, everything is okay, man. Yeah, no.
Supposed to do that, man.
Yeah, stories. I mean, brothers fighting in the masjid, man.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, getting laid out, stretched out. You got to carry them out, man. Had their Timberlands to the ambulance driver.
Situations like that is that. The one that get thrown out, right? He'll go around and start spreading rumors about the mass.
Yeah.
And nobody never asked the dude, what did you get thrown out?
Yeah.
They never ask that question. But because they don't like that mass shit also, they don't want to hear the question. What happened? They just going to support that guy to bring down the mass shit. Yeah,
and it's so funny because we in Camden, we got our masjid, we got the Salafi masjid down the street, and we got Masjid An-Nur. So the Salafi Masjid, they got all the numbers and all that. So they already been told and some of us, they don't take no knowledge from them, but if you need them for something, you can go use them. So they'll come to our masjid, they barely salam. I just had a brother the other day, man, walk past here, go across the street, just to avoid giving us salams. So now he got kicked out of his house, and so he comes to the masjid now. He never usually speak to me. So the other day after Isha, oh yeah, Imam, how you doing? I'm like, what this nigga up to? You know what I mean? I can't even have husnul done because I know where he coming from. Yeah. He wants something. All right, what's up, man? Oh yeah, my wife got a restraining order on me. I ain't asking no questions. Okay, you can stay the night here. So he stays the night. Then I come in the next day. He got a bag and all this stuff. He moving in. I said, bro, cause we had an encounter before. Nah, man, this ain't that type of party. You want me to go? You were supposed to call me with your wife, and so we could try to get some counseling. Now you trying to set up shop, but you go. I said, oh, this is what he said. I was trying to get the number to the imam down the street, and I was like, what would make you think I would have his number? I don't got his number. You go down there every week. You give your money, you give your presents, and now you can't get in touch with him. You can come here every day and pray, but we the deviants.
That's what happens.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
That happens to me more than you think.
Yeah.
There'll be people that know me and they'll be like, y'all be like, so and so passed away. I watched the body. I'm like, but I'm the dude that y'all Qur'an and Sunnah.
Right.
So how you don't know I watched the body? None of y'all don't know how to watch bodies?
None of them.
Yeah, and they'll call me like, can you help us watch the body? So I'm like, come on, man.
I had one actual case, man. This brother was there with me. I think it was a relative. He watching everything I do. Yeah. He never did one in his life. Yeah. So I'm like, now he looking over my shoulder. I'm saying, what's the problem? I had to stop. Man, what's the problem, man? Make sure it's according to Qur'an and Sunnah. I stepped back. I said, you go. You go, man. You do it. Oh, I never did one before. Really? Man, get out of my way, man. Before I, you know what I mean? I had one recently. This one, I lost my cool though. I didn't lose my, but I left. This brother called me. I ain't know him. And you know, you got people that's displaced. They ain't really part of no community. So we get the call about the body. Okay, if it's confirmed, this is my policy. If it's confirmed that they Muslim, we just gonna bury them. You know what I mean? So, the brother called me. He was working in Kentucky. He was a truck driver. He didn't have nobody to do it. So he calls the funeral home. They called me. So then they told him what my price was and all this stuff. So then he calls me. I said, yeah, you get my number. They had him on the phone. Well, he's balking about the price and all that. So he said he wanted to call me. Yeah, give him my number. He called me. So he said, well, I know how to do the prayer. I don't know how to wash the body, but I got some brothers from Philly that could come and help me. So in my mind, like, what the hell you contact me for? I ain't said it to him, but I'm like, let me be on standby because sometimes this stuff changes, you know. So when he said Philly, I already was a red flag, right? So I said, all right, I'm gonna go over to the funeral home. So it's these three brothers from Philly, you know, you can already tell by that look what they about. So we get back there. So he said, do you have the camphor? He asked me on the phone. I said, yeah, it's a paste, you know, it's a camphor paste you use. It's easy to apply, so we use that instead of the crystals. So I get in there. The brother asked me, do I have the camphor? I said, yeah, it's right here. I pull it out. He said, no, you can't use that kind. I said, brother, it's camphor. It's the same substance, whether it's cream, crystals, or liquid. It's the same substance. So he said, no, the sheikhs and you know, he said the ulema, right? You know, they said something, you gotta use this kind. So he pulled out the blocks. So I said, yo, man, well, why did you even ask me if you had it already? So then I left. Because they was doing the body, you know, doing everything according to Qur'an and Sunnah, as they say. So, and the brother said he's gonna do the prayer, so why would they turn it back? I left, man. I told the funeral director, I said, they got it. You know, and I felt bad afterwards, but now I'm like, well, I don't even know these niggas anyway, so it don't really, you know what I mean? But it was just like the audacity, like, you know what I mean?
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, that one burnt me up, man. But, I mean, masjid stories is, I mean.
Yeah, I seen that happened to me, too.
Yeah.
You was, like, watching me, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all over each other.
Yeah.
And you like, move the body, bro.
Yeah. The brother said, well, I read here. Well, you know, okay, man.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's nonsense. But, I mean, there's so many stories, man.
About the moon sighting.
Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, brothers been jumped in. I mean, my own community sometimes. Well, we got a report from Saudi. Man, I done sent you 3 texts. We are doing a local sighting. Until you hear from me, don't worry about nothing else. Or whoever, you know. Man, but the brother said, oh, we starting tomorrow. All right, we'll start tomorrow. We didn't get no confirmation. You know what I'm saying? We doing local sightings. You know what I mean? They use calculations, and then you try to explain all this stuff. They talk about Qur'an and Sunnah. They don't even know nothing about calculations. It used to be like a lunar calendar. They be like, what's that? Man, these niggas, man. It's hard civilizing these niggas right here, man. You got all this stuff to say. You don't even know what a lunar calendar is. You know? Man, you know, it's crazy. And then, you know, I mean, the Salafis, man, you know, they make you enemies, man. And then what's the bad part is that the average Muslim suffers, but they just want to see, you know, brotherhood and sisterhood. And then they go and hear all this kind of stuff. And then, you know, but at the same time, you got to take a stance. Like, I tell people all the time, listen, there's a reason why this masjid is here and that masjid is there. And you can go, you know, we ain't gonna make no bones about you going down there. That's cool. But don't go down there and come down here and then you question me about everything you see. You know what I mean? When you didn't know what you was looking at the first time, obviously. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I'm the same person for the last 30 years. I mean, I don't know what you want. You know what I'm saying? Or they go down there and they be like, then you next thing you know, you see them a couple weeks later, they give you the slimes halfway out their mouth, and you know, and they looking at you funny. The energy is funny. They got him. You know what I mean? They got him. Like, damn, bro. You know, I remember I had a brother let him stay in the masjid, man. He ain't had nowhere to stay. He got up, man. He got on board. He went down the street, called me all types of names, and I mean, talking real reckless.
Sometimes they'll tell the people like, yeah, we down there, such and such. And you're like, that stuff is false.
Yeah.
You're like, man, that stuff is lying now. And
Yeah.
that's so, because they'll ask about that, like, what they doing in there.
Yeah. Well, what'd he say? You know, secretly recording
What you
people.
talking about?
Yeah, all that nonsense, man. You know. So I mean, it's a rift in the city, but we just try to not entertain it too much, except when we have to, you know, because then we'll get some people from our community be like, "Oh, we are brothers in Islam." Yeah, to a degree. I said, if you feel like they are brothers down there, then go down there and just get a feel for them. So one brother I know, one time he made a big iftar meal. Nice, man. Blessed, bad, everything halal. They didn't take it. They didn't take it. So I said, see,
I ain't gonna take their food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? They didn't take it.
God, man, them jokers, you like
that. Yeah, you know, that stuff be stun gunned all up, man. You know, yeah, but I mean, and just dealing with regular people, man, it's just like you just try to give people hope, man, and keep open arms, even in the midst of some of that stuff, man. Because
you know, it's crazy what you mentioned about the new people coming in. It's sad because they'll be like, yo, I went to the one up the street and they said something totally the opposite of what you said.
Yeah.
And now you like, man, I gotta tell this guy.
I got deprogrammed. Yeah, I gotta go through every step of it. Just to get back to where we started at.
You don't see them no more because a lot of them they see the numbers. So they're like, this is where it's at because it's a large crowd.
Yeah, they see the number, they see the dress, they see all that stuff, man. It was we had a situation. It was these two sisters, man. They took Shahada. And they was excited, man. You know, they came to our masjid. And then somehow they went down the street and, you know, they told them, nah, don't go down there, such. And you know what they said? They said, I think we made a mistake and take a Shahada.
Wow.
The salvation in the Shahada, man. Like,
somebody actually said that to me. There's a guy that I used to work with, right? And he said, yo, if I was to judge our religion off of what I see y'all do, I would never accept Islam. Because of what he see all the time. It just ain't, you know, it ain't nothing to poorly men.
Yeah.
Like, he said, I do say salam alaikum and sell you a bag of dope.
Yeah, man. Man. And then, you know what I mean? Then it's like, you see these people, they're more comfortable with sin. You know, they tell them that, okay, it's better to do this sin than to be upon bid'ah. You know what I mean? So they just stay, you know, you'll see Muslims, man, in the clubs and bars, popping bottles, but won't come to our masjid because somehow or another we're going to lead them astray. Yeah, but what about, you know, Shaitan was all up on you in the club and you put it on social media and you had no reservations about that.
Sometimes I think, Imam Faheem, is that Allah keep them away to keep the range clean.
Yeah.
They don't want them coming there contaminating the range.
Exactly.
And they know if they come in this place, you're going to have to straighten up.
Yeah, you're not coming around here talking about, you leave that stuff at the door, you know, because I'm not with it, you know, people I'm hanging with are not with it, you know, and we're going to check you on it, you know, so.
Like, listen, if you do bring that here, you got to go, bro.
Yep.
This is our stand.
Yep. Yeah, it's just so sad, man. So many people just be displaced, and you try not to generalize too much, but you got to take every person where they at, and you know sometimes people are genuine, sometimes people are really being sinister. You know what I mean?
Me, I got CJ too. He know the experience. I got like a real soft spot for new Shahada because I know what it was like when I initially came in, and I couldn't get no help. And I was just like, well, what to do, how to pray, stuff like that. And I know from the seerah, right, that the Prophet said, so whenever somebody accepted Islam, he will appoint somebody to them.
Yep.
That's called mu'akhir.
Yeah.
He will make them akhi
Yep.
with the other one.
Yep.
And that's why you'll read Sahabas had favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Like who they were paired with.
Yeah.
Like Zubair ibn Awam was with Talha
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he paired them together.
Yep, yep.
When he thought that matched their kind of personalities. And I think that's a forgotten sunnah now.
Yeah.
Is whereas though somebody come accept Islam, we celebrate.
Yeah.
They go a kufi, they
Yeah.
go a book.
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. And you know, now we live in a time that people, I know when I became Muslim, it's probably similar for you brothers, that you had an some type of eagerness to learn.
Yeah.
Nowadays, man, people don't want to learn, man.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true too.
Yeah.
You know what it is? They want to learn, but they want to learn the stuff that affects them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's more like
It's
like a buffet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, man, I don't want that. You know what I mean? But I do want that. Teach me how I want to learn some surahs. I want to learn how to pray. I want to, you know, but I'm still gonna marry my boyfriend. It ain't Muslim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to go there with it.
Yeah.
You have that issue a lot because that's a recurring thing.
Boyfriend and girlfriend?
No, not just boyfriend girlfriend, but Muslims who can't find spouses and then they want to marry non-Muslims.
Yeah, that's like a big problem.
Yeah, I don't find a lot with Muslims, but a lot of Muslim brothers be shacked up with girls, man, and at least in our area. Or Muslims are hooked up with dudes, and you know they end up taking shahada. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't find it in our area, not too much with the sisters, but it'd be more with brothers be having girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? I haven't come across too many sisters who are like with non-Muslims. You know what I'm saying? At least that has reached my desk.
Yeah,
you know?
I see that's true because I get a lot of inboxes pertaining to that.
Do you think that the sisters make it hard?
But get married?
Yeah. And like in your experience.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's true.
Yeah, because I mean, I know people don't like this guy, Kevin Samuel. I just got wind of him, you know, but I listened to some of the stuff he was saying. But he said a lot of sisters are overestimating themselves and making themselves more valuable than what they're worth. And then you're making this man feel like he has to live up to a certain standard that may not be even your standard. It's like something you imagine, you know what I mean? And then you running somebody that might be a good brother away. You know what I mean? Because the pickings is already slim. Like, I really feel sorry for people getting married in these days, man, because like, man, I can't even imagine it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you having all of these demands and expectations, and you know, and I know people differ over this, but if you got to get married just to avoid, you know, committing zina, if that's the least, you know, you might want to give it a try instead of, you know what I mean? Because we being honest, yeah, people ain't being abstinent, man. People are not being abstinent. You know, we have husnul done, but we're going to be honest, you know, because, I mean, sisters are getting pregnant, you know, brothers having babies, you know, and they ain't never been married. I know brothers, man. I know a brother right now ain't been married over 10 years. And I know other brothers, I had to be like, yo, I'm sorry, man, you a fag or something? Like, what's going on? And I don't know if you got to edit that out. Man, what's going on, man? Like, you don't like women? As Muslim, you know, we love women. We just got to marry them and honor them, man.
Man, dude told me, he said, man, listen, I'm going to have to deal with zina with lust one time day of judgment. He said, because I ain't getting married to these sisters.
Good luck, bro.
That man was looking on Google to see if he could marry a jinn or something. He was like, I married one of them. Well, I married one of these sisters.
Yeah. And then I tell sisters now, because one of the things that I notice is that sisters have all these expectations, then they get a brother, then he's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this is the brother you say you was looking for. Like, what's the issue? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be no perfect situation. You make it work. You take it's accepting each other's imperfections is what make it perfect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't you trying to make this, you know, every little thing, you know, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. And then, okay, all right, well, you know, ask for a divorce then. Then they ask for a divorce, you know, and the next thing you know, we want to get remarried again.
See, the thing is, like with the dowry, it's like they know that they can ask for whatever they want. But you like, yo, really?
Mm-hmm.
That? You want like 50 grand? You want a $200,000 house?
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't know. You know, in my opinion, is that when you get into marriage, all that stuff gonna come later.
Yeah.
Plan on being with this person that long. When you say things like that, you already selling yourself short.
Yeah. And then, yeah, go ahead.
Go.
Because what you gotta understand, with the background we come from, as soon as you do that, and once I get what I want from you, I'm out. I already know what it's hitting for. Like, you know what I mean? This is what I gotta put up, this is what to get you. Now that I got you, I don't want you, but keep the chase going. Because as a man, I'm already pre-wired to have my duty to take care of you. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be happy like you want it, like, but I'm gonna take care of you. I got you. Whatever I got, you got. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see you happy. I might not be happy all the time, but I ain't gonna complain. I mean, as a man, man, this costs what? But I'll buy it. If you make me feel like a man and you cater to my ego, I'm gonna do whatever you want. Even if I don't, if I don't got it, I'm gonna find a way to go get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you make me feel like a man, but not if you coming at me, you criticizing me, you putting all these stipulations, and I feel like it's a rule book already in place before we even, and we come from background, we used to get the cookies, we ain't had to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's still easy like that. For, if people don't got no taqwa, it's still easy to do that. You know what I mean? So people just need to do it and get the experience of marriage. It's something that you grow. Because, I always see people online, they look at these people who've been married a long time and they be like, it's so beautiful. That, you know how much hell they went through that you're not going to get in this picture? You know what I mean? Anybody that been married over 20 years got some hell that they done been through. Some hell. And stuff that in Islam that we not even going to mention because we need to be forgiven for it. You see what I'm saying? They got drama, but they got through it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how people stay married. They got through their stuff. They didn't give up. You giving up the first sign of danger, the first time you got hurt, the first time he made you cry. Nah, you
like, this ain't for me.
Nah.
That's the first time in trouble, they rang the bell.
Yeah. So I see a lot of that stuff happening, man. People not really in for the long haul.
That's why I said when I was at the retreat, the rights of marriage, that's what really helped my marriage.
Yeah.
From knowing the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
And that being drilled into you every year at those Islamic retreats, it let us know as young men. Because there's only men there at the retreat. Yeah. Right? And they tell us like, you can't behave like this, you can't do this, and know how women are and stuff like that. And understand them more and stuff like that. So that was a benefit for me.
Now, we on camera. There's two, now I don't want to sound racist, but these two white ladies, they get it. They get it. One is named Laura Doyle. Yeah. You heard of Laura Doyle?
Laura Doyle got a book called The Surrendering Wife.
Yes. Man, every sister. I remember we did
I said that.
We had a seminar on it. As soon as they seen the title, I'm not reading that.
That's what happened to me.
And that's what I thought too. Till I read it. I said, man, every woman in the world should read this book. And then this other lady, her name is Suzanne Venker, Venker. So she talks about marriage, and their whole concept is about the woman's feminine energy is what attracts a man. You make him feel like that he's going to do for you. You don't have to criticize him. Like, for instance, if a woman says like, oh, I wish I could have this diamond ring. A man is going to want to try to get that for you. Because you make him, you cater to his ego. Yeah. Like, instead of be like, why you never buy me nothing? Oh, I would love this diamond ring. And, in our minds, if we cheapskates, we're like, yeah, that'd be nice, but you know what I mean? But in the back of our mind, if it come across we can get it for, we would do it.
But the man like, listen, I know I couldn't get you that.
Yeah, I'm going to get you something.
Like this.
Yeah, it's going to spark the initiative in the man.
I'm telling you what you said. I read that book too.
Yeah, I read it twice, man.
I told a lot of women, I told them read that book.
Yep.
Because that lady, she had 3 failed marriages, and she was trying to figure out like what was the problem? Why she was having failing marriage? It was her.
It was her.
She go by like tips and stuff like that, and how she like actually did an experiment in her last marriage through the whole process and found out like what she was doing was working.
And one of the things she said in the book that I remember, she said that respect to a man is like oxygen.
Yeah.
He needs that more than anything else.
She said in the book, right?
Yeah.
If y'all on the highway driving, and women do this a lot. He said, don't say nothing if he make the wrong turn. Don't say nothing. Let him come to his own realization.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, yo, I told you, and nagging and stuff.
They driving for the passenger seat.
Yeah.
That irks the hell out of me.
Yo, me too. Bro, I hate that.
I hate it, man. But let a man figure out his way, because that's what makes him a man. He got to figure his way out on his own. And all the woman has to do is realize that she got to encourage him. And so I used her book to show how our mother Khadija, radiallahu anha, this is what she did with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was gone for long periods of time. You know what I'm saying? He gone, he ain't home. You don't hear no reports about when he came home. Where you been at all day? I was here with these kids and all that. He came home and he said, what's the problem, honey? I think, I've been abandoned. No, You're a good man. You feed the poor, you take care of the needy. Yeah. Allah's going to take care of you. I mean, of course he received revelation, sallallahu, but that right there, when you do that to a man, he turned into Superman. Just by stroking his ego. And a lot of women, because they feel like they have the right to say what they want to say, they'll say it and have no regard about the impact of it. And it says that, I read this quote, it says that a woman could love a man, but her criticism will go straight to his heart, and that it'll make him lose love for her every time, like slowly. And they don't even realize they do it. They say stuff to you, and it's because they have the right to say it. They feel like that's what they need to say, and they don't really. And we ain't gonna come out and be like, you hurt my feelings, but we internalize it. You know what I mean? And then it turns us off. Like, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say now. Your voice is like a siren now. It irks the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? And now I got to take care of you because that's my duty nature. Whether I'm not feeling it. Make me feel it. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of women have to do. Make the man be the. It's easy. You got the power as women by words. You know what I mean? Baby, you could do it. Don't. Why didn't you do it? Instead of, baby, you could do it. And I'm here for you. Mm-hmm. That's going to resonate with a man. He going to go, however he got to do it, he going to get it done. You know what I mean? And women, these women today got to realize that instead of, trying.
Of course the opposite is going to come.
Yeah.
But what about y'all? What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
That's going to come back.
Yeah. But man, a man is built to, that he can withstand a lot. He can put a lot on his back.
I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, he can put a lot on his back, man.
He was like, women act like men don't have feelings too. And we just like punching bags. And we just take it like we don't even hear nothing or feel some type of.
Yeah, we feel.
They say too, but men do.
Yeah, we have feelings, and you show us a lot of respect. That goes a long way. I don't need you to tell me what to do or counter what I'm saying or criticize. Just listen to me, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit on, that I don't know women want to see us like, oh my God, I can't do it. You might see that from a man, but you ain't going to see it that often. Mm-hmm. But when you do see it, know how to deal with it, you know what I'm saying? And when you don't see it, don't be looking for it, because a man that's how men are. They call it having a toxic ego. No, we just men. We make the song cry. You know what I'm saying? We make the song cry. Or we wait till it rain to go for our tears. They made songs like that. Yeah. I want to go outside in the rain. I don't want you to see me cry, but I'm crying like a mug. I just don't want you to see it because as a man, that's how I am. But I'm crying like a mug, man. This thing hurt what life is doing and what I got to be responsible for. This is painful, But let the man go outside and cry. And when he come in, give him a kiss and wipe his fake tears away. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Can you explain? This is the last one I got. Can you explain the process of divorce because people be getting that all screwed up.
Really?
Mm-hmm. All the time. They don't understand how it works. I get a lot of questions like that.
Yeah.
Like for instance, what they say?
Like they don't understand the whole idda process or when they in the clear or how many. Like people just automatically think once I got divorced, you know, I can't marry that brother back until I marry somebody. Like they think it's a one and done type thing, or that the divorce ain't valid unless there's witnesses. I be hearing all kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody knows fiqh, man.
Yeah.
Qur'an and Sunnah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, one of the things is that even before you get to divorce, you know, there's a whole process, you know, like the Quran says that if the woman is guilty, like of nushuz, you know, like being like, you know, like somebody is like defiant, you know, then you know, first you admonish her, you know, then you refuse the bed, and then, you know, the Quran says to beat her lightly, you know, to discipline her, but not like, you know, Ike Turner, you know what I mean? One of the tafsirs says it's like with a toothstick, you know, a miswak, you know.
It's supposed to be in
like you ain't supposed to abuse her, you know. And then after that, you know, if there's still discord, then you're supposed to bring a judge from each side of the family as arbitrations. And then if all of that don't work, then the divorce procedure should be starting, you know, ideally. And then that what happens is that either the man would pronounce the divorce in clear and, you know, no unambiguous terms that he's divorcing her, and that she understands that what he says, he's saying it, not saying, I don't want to be with you no more, or it's over. No, I'm divorcing you. And that she understands, you know, that is a divorce. And then after that, if the man pronounces divorce, there's an iddah of 3 monthly cycles. You know, that means you can't have any intercourse. You know, everything else is the same. You know what I mean? And it's like in the Shafi school, that even like a kiss or a touch means you taking them back. You know what I'm saying? So everything else is the same, and that's the iddah period is for not just for to see if the woman is pregnant, but it's also for reconciliation. You know, so when you don't have the intimacy, then that tells you where you are as a people. You know what I mean? So, and when you know, then you reconcile. And if during the iddah, if you break the iddah by having intercourse, then you know what I mean. If before the 3 menstrual cycles, then you're back together again. You know what I mean. But if you complete the iddah, then the divorce is final, and that's one divorce. That's one divorce. And then if it happens again, that divorce still stands. That divorce still stands that you pronounced the first time, even though you completed the iddah. You follow what I'm saying? And then it would be another time. And then after that, you know, if you did that. But divorce is supposed to, it would be, she would have to marry somebody else. And the third time, it would be no iddah, right? And then she would have to marry somebody else, then divorce them to marry you. Because I done heard stories that people who did that with the Nia, married his brother, then asked him for a khula, so we can get back and use the ruling of the khula is just 1 menstrual cycle based on Quran and Sunnah. Yeah, but that's the thing. But in the midst of the iddah, you know, there should go ahead.
But that's the whole point of the reconciliation period. That's why saying the 3 talaqs is a bid'ah.
Yeah.
Because you don't give yourself time. Because what happened was a lot of people was doing that, and they was regretting them having said the 3 talaqs.
No, the reason why I brought it up is people. It's some sisters that don't understand how it works.
Right.
So basically, then there's each marriage, when you marry a person, comes with 3 divorces.
Right.
3 opportunities to say so.
Yeah.
So then, if I pronounce 1 and we don't complete the iddah, then I've used 1. She comes back to me. Now we got 2.
Right.
Then after that, if I use another one and I take her back, now I have 1 left. If I use that last one, now I have to go through with the whole joint. But what I was trying to tell this one sister, she's like, "Oh, my husband divorced me," and so they completed the iddah. Now, I only know Maliki fiqh, and I know some Shafi fiqh, but in the Maliki school, if you completed it, now you guys remarry.
Yeah.
You remarry with a new
Dowry, yeah.
And the whole ceremony and stuff. You take her back, you still only have 2 divorces though. The only time you get a brand new fresh 3 is if you divorce her and she marries somebody else and then you marry.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now here's the question. So you Hanafi and you Shafi, right? In y'all schools, if a khula is done and you remarry a woman, does that count as a divorce or no?
I don't know.
As far as I know, in the school, the iddah for a kula is the same as a divorce, but I don't.
Right?
Huh?
Like,
I know the iddah period is the same.
No, it's three cycles.
Yeah, it's three cycles, but does it? It's like saying
does it count as the 3 or just as that 1? That's what is the question they ask.
Does it count as 3?
Yeah, the 3.
No, that doesn't count.
Does the kula count as a divorce?
Like, all right, so let's say if me and my wife we separate, she asks for a kula, I give her one, I let her out, and then later on I want to remarry her. When I remarry her, does that kula count as a divorce? Because from what I understand, the Maliki school, it doesn't. Like
I'm
if
not
I was
sure.
to remarry her, whatever as long as the divorces that I whatever divorces I said, it didn't say, that's all that counts, not the actual kula.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. No.
Yeah.
I quizzed you, man.
I gotta find out. Yeah, but I know that there's a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said that there's 3 things that there's no jesting in: marriage, divorce, and the iddah and the raja, meaning the return, like during the iddah. Like don't jest with those. You know what I mean? Like make divorce your absolute last resort. Your absolute last resort. You know, try to work things out before you jump to it. Brothers, don't be so quick to just concede to what the woman said. I want out. I'm tired of this. No, if you the husband, if you don't, and I always ask brothers this: do you want a divorce? No, I don't want a divorce. Well, then don't grant it.
So now, how long before she can marry a new man?
What, after the iddah's up?
Yeah.
The iddah is 3 months.
So as soon as the iddah's up, she can marry somebody new, right? I mean, I know the answer. I'm just asking.
Yeah, but man, that's when that happens, that something was already going on through the iddah,
So
man.
during the iddah, the sister can't be kicking it with other
No, not at all.
doing it, though.
I know, and
We just talked about that last
yeah,
night.
you can't be getting your rebound together, in the middle of the iddah. The
That's not
iddah,
fair.
yeah, huh?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
I'm playing the woman's. Devil's advocate. Woman's advocate.
Well,
It's not fair, man.
it's not fair for you to be going through a divorce, but you are. You know what I mean? Play.
No, they saying it's not fair because when a man gets a divorce, he can instantly.
Well, the man could be getting a whole other wife, like he got.
Yeah, that's why they saying that.
Right?
Whereas they have to go through the process of a certain time period.
Well, laysa dakara kal unta. Male is not like the female.
That's what I say all the time.
The problem is we're trying to make each other equal, but we're not identical.
We're not
They gonna
Yeah.
go through like emotional despair
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It would take them a process. That's why Allah Ta'ala designed it that way, to give them time to heal and get themselves ready and prep and not bring
But
that trauma.
do they talk fair when they ask for a kula, right? And then they say, because the kula is supposed to be like, you absolutely can't deal with this brother no more. That it'll make you disobey Allah. And the next thing you know, they back together. So is it fair for you to ask for a kula and that's not really how you felt? You just mad?
Yeah, that's a huge
Is
problem.
that fair? Like, don't talk about fair. There's no fairness when we're dealing with these emotions. But let's talk about what the rules are and stick to the rules.
Nah,
You know?
nobody wanna follow the rules.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with Kiva, right? And I said, listen, a lot of times y'all want to use the rules when it is fit y'all.
Yeah.
But if I was to really go by the rules, the only thing I'm supposed to do for you is food, clothing, and shelter.
Yeah.
Everything else is sudden.
Yeah.
So if I take you out to eat, I get you flowers.
Yeah.
I'm not obligated to do none of that.
Right.
That's something
Right.
I'm doing as sadaqah,
Right.
kindness in my heart.
Right.
If I was like the technical, literal dude, you'd just be sitting in the house.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'd just be doing my
Exactly.
obligations. But we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't try to use that against us.
Yeah.
When you get all these extra things that come with it.
We need to call you, man.
You travel around sometimes about permission, and you already went somewhere and told me you're gonna go. You didn't ask my permission. You driving around, you know what I mean? It's all good, you know.
Yeah, you ain't call me.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So-and-so come to the house.
Exactly.
No, it's hard, man. I don't think it's ever gonna get fixed because the way that this country is and the way the world is, we're trying to impose rules. Like, we have good intention, you know what I mean? And I remember Shaky Man, he said that to me before. He said the law is gonna like reward the African Americans and Americans in this country, because y'all go through. It's not easy for y'all. I don't have the government's help.
Yeah.
You don't have, the ease that we have in other countries. Like y'all are trying to instill something from scratch, and it's like catching a falling knife, man.
Yeah. And we gotta deal with all the social roles and stuff that come with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like combating, like you trying to get people where you want them to be, but you combating all these other distractions that's bombarding everybody at the same time.
Man, Lord help us, man.
I mean,
man, I came all the way down here for this. Nah, I came for the haircut, man. This was the best barbershops in the region. Alhamdulillah. But yeah, man, we got a lot of work to do as a people, man. We just gotta keep chipping at it. But for people listening, we still on? Support your black imams. I mean, on the looks of it, I might not look black, but I'm soul brother number one. You know what I mean?
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I get asked this a lot, right? If a sister marry a brother, right, and he's in prison, is that a legal marriage? Because technically he's no longer a citizen. He's property of the state.
Prison.
He's a prisoner.
Yeah. A lot of ulama say that they're wards of the state. They're not really, they even like stuff like Jumu'at is not an obligation for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the marriage ain't valid, or is it valid?
I can't say that it's not valid. We had to look into it, because because the prison system in like Muslim countries not like ours, because like. I mean, like you can legally get married in a prison, like. Well,
my thing is this: if you don't, one of the conditions of a marriage is that you consummate the marriage.
Yes.
Right. So now, if you don't get married with the state certificate and stuff, or even if you did and you're not at a prison that does conjugal visits and you never consummate the marriage, and I always wonder. Well, is the marriage actually valid?
Yeah.
If you're in the average, because I know sisters that marry brothers, been married to them for years, and then, they never consummated, and then, they say, oh, my husband. But it's like, you never consummated, like you never even touched them. I mean, you might have hugged them and stuff, and kissed them.
Well, they might have had that visit hall turned up, man. It's not sad.
Yeah, that's like a common question, though.
Yeah, but. What was the question again?
If a sister marry,
are they valid?
Are they valid because
without consummation?
I mean, if they never consummate, then it would be valid, because if you never consummate, you can walk away from the marriage. Mm-hmm. But consummation is a big part of it. That solidifies it. But if they, are they never going to do it, or are they just going to wait, or?
Well, I mean, let's say the nigga got life. We got 20 years. You got you never consummate. Now she got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she was yeah.
All right. So,
but this was don't marry brothers in jail.
Yeah, that's my next question. I was going to say, not the fiqh ruling. What's your personal opinion about sisters that marry brothers in prison?
Don't do it.
Yeah, I say the same thing.
Don't do it.
Nope.
I don't care how sweet the talk is, how many promises. He needs to get out and prove himself that he's worthy in society. And I mean, that might be general, but for the most part, a lot of brothers ain't coming out reform. There's very few that's coming out, and it might feel good because he's in a controlled environment, you know what I mean, and where he's at every night. But if his taqwa ain't right, and you made him feel like a pet when he was in there, just imagine when you let a pet loose that it's supposed to be running around. That's what they gonna do.
Now, I ain't trying to put your business out there, but you can say that because you had experience.
Yeah, I've been to jail. I was in jail for 6 years, but I knew that when I came home, I didn't want no girlfriends, and I wasn't entertaining. I didn't even have girls come visit me. Like my girlfriend sent me that Dear John. I wasn't Muslim at that time, but when I got that Dear John and was close to hanging out, I'm a killer when I get out. But more I got into Deen, I was like, okay, it's another route. So I didn't even, And in the prison, you see girls and, man, what's up with your sister? Niggas scheming. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna come with a fresh slate. So and focus on, that what you want to do for a sister. Because a lot of those guys, sisters don't realize it, but they are handicapping them. Mm-hmm. Not only they so-called supporting them, but they doing every single thing for them. You know what I mean? And then they wonder why they sitting around not doing nothing, because you've been waiting on hand and foot. Why should it change now? Yeah. You done kept this nigga commissary fat, money on his books. He in the jail like a king. Now he got to come home. He got to pay that back. For what? Why would I? I'm just trying to keep finessing you. You know what I mean? But now you want me to be this man. You done turn me into a boy. Yeah. You done turn me into a kid, a pet. Mm-hmm. And I'm even if a man that's like that lives like that, he got enough dignity about himself. I don't want to be nobody's pet, man. Stop turning these men into pets. Make them valuable. Stop, letting them drive your car and, ain't got no license and, filling out job applications for them. Nah, get on the bus. Mm-hmm. Till you get your license, catch the bus. Get you a bike. Learn the train schedules. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Don't baby these dudes, because you done baby them. Now they act like babies. You wonder what happened. Yep. You know what I mean? You don't know what kind of talks he was having in the prison. They got to come home and prove themselves. And that's why when them brothers come home, I've been there already. You're not going to get that off of me. You know what I mean? You got to prove yourself that you worthy of even being in society, man. You know what I mean? And you come out and work and make yourself valuable, you know what I mean? And then a sister will respect you. But women, stop babying and pampering these dudes, thinking that you're supporting them. You are crippling them. You are crippling them. A man has to be able to go and get up and make something happen on his own. Let him fall on his face. Let him fail. Let him get the door shut in his face so he get that experience. Not know, he ain't got up, looked for nothing, did nothing, and he got a home-cooked meal. You ironing his clothes. You know what I mean? You paying his parole fines. Yeah, come on, no. And then, you wonder what happened. I can't get him to do nothing. Who would? You know what I'm saying? And nigga thinking, as long as I'm slanging this wood, you know what I mean? I got her. That only lasts so long. The woman, because if they get mad enough, they'll tell you it wasn't good anyway. Or, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you ain't all that. But it's, don't even entertain dudes in jail. Don't even entertain you. I don't care what they telling you. Because I get calls all the time. Yeah, my man is in jail. He want to get married. Yeah, when he get out, the first day he gets out, we can do it. You know what I mean? But right now, nah. How you know he gonna be how you know he gonna be a husband to you? Mm-hmm. How you know these streets ain't calling him? They gotta come. Because a lot of people in jail are not getting refined, even Muslims. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Somebody, one of my cousin, I call him all the time. I mean, he called the house once a week, right? And he said a lot of people that come in here, he said it's like time stops. So when they go in there at 20, they come out 30, they still got the mind frame of a 20-year-old.
No.
It's like y'all ain't even growing.
Yeah, man. It's very few, man, that come home and really do something. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, and we just gotta, we live in a time of gender confusion and people not knowing men gotta be men and women gotta be women, you know what I mean? And yeah, and being a man has certain things. It's about taking risk, it's about getting hurt. When we was growing up, when you fell on the ground, you got your knees scraped up, you came with a doohickey, you cried a little bit, you go in the house, they shake it off and you go back out. As long as you ain't bleeding and you gotta go to the hospital, you all right? Yeah. That helped us. Man, I'm gonna be all right no matter what kind of scrapes or bruises or cuts I get. Because they gonna happen. That's gonna happen in marriage. You're gonna get bruised up, sometimes physically. Sometimes physically. You're gonna get bruised up. So you take it in stride, man, So.
Appreciate it.